Hello fellow Magic players, this is a game that went off yesterday against Morten's Deadguy Ale deck. Morten is not a local player, he has driven about 1.5 hours to get here, so thanks for that, Morten. So yeah, we are having a roll-off and Morten is starting. We have a local Deadguy Ale Skies deck here, but Morten's is a different setup. So yeah, this is just two very black decks squaring off against each other, so that is just pure party. With power and dark rituals and big creatures slamming into each other. So, true to form, we are starting out with a turn 1 Singia Vampire countered with a turn 1 Jusum Djinn. So I'm giving him 5 damage each turn, but he actually gives me 5 damage as well, because the Jusum hurts me. And he's ahead as he attacked first. So, but I have a factory, and now I'm strip mining his swamp. So yeah, now I'm ahead, and will continue to be ahead. And he's, if I get in one more time, I can actually bolt him. So this is a big of a decision for him. I think. He actually attacks here. I think that's a pretty weird play, actually. He's at 1 life. Okay, and that's it. But it was probably, he was just trying to like ending the game right there. But yeah, so that's 1-0 for the mono black deck. It's always fun with these mono black setups when they square off. Games can go really fast. Sometimes it's like two boxers just wailing at each other and punching each other in the head. And a turn 1 Singia Vampire. This is actually, it's a pretty weird setup, because I think my deck should take his, as I have the blue, as we both empty our hands fast with the dark rituals, and I have blue power in it and he doesn't. But and I also have the better creatures, I think. But this is sort of balanced with his ability to remove my creatures with Swords to Plowshares and my Dreams with Disenchanted. And I can't remove his creatures if they have a toughness of 4 and above. So because my terrors just don't work. So yeah, I'm on the offensive, but pretty mana screwed at this point. I only have a Mox Sapphire, and he uses his orb. And then, yeah, that should be okay. I mean, he makes my factory a swamp, but I can use that, and I'm pretty mana screwed at this moment, so perhaps that should help. And now he sinkholes it. So that's 2 cards used, but I can't seem to draw any mana. So, and now he disenchants the Mox. This is really bad. Just keeps on drawing nothing but spells, no land. And here comes the Bog Wraith, but I at least draw a land. It's not a mana land, but it's a Mace of Ith. This will help me, but now he gets his creatures and he has his mana base out. And I just continue to be mana starved here. I can't even get a single swamp. So I'm starting to take a lot of damage now. Morten's Deadguy Ale deck is using 4 Bog Wraith. I've used the same. I've used Bog Wraith once before myself as a sideboard option against a mirror matchup when I was playing mono black splash blue about a year ago. So it's a solid card in this matchup, and I guess he uses those evil presence as a way to get Swamp Walk and just ghost right by. It's a pretty fun setup. I'm just losing here because I'm mana starved, I think. Okay, 1 land. Let's see what we can make happen. Okay, yeah, 2 Dark Rituals and a Sol Ring. Trying to work out which spells to cast from this from these spells. Morten is using the same deck as he used in a recent tournament that we were both in. And it's actually should be a pretty solid deck. I'm using the chaos. Oh, just nicking the vampire. Lucky me. Yeah, get it out of here. But it's too little, too late. Didn't get the mana. And I can only block one creature. I'm at 2 life. So screw this. No mana for me. There's just no way to play then. But we go for the 3rd round. These are some pretty fast-paced and action-packed matches as far as I remember. And I just love black. It's a lovely color, I think, because it's so aggressive. And to me, it's a beautiful artwork on a lot of the cards, especially when it's black bordered. But yeah, that's like the 3rd or the 2nd Mind Twist out of 3 games. So that negates my power a lot. That Morten tends to draw that Mind Twist so often. But it's fair. It's black power, you know. Easily the same strength as blue power Mind Twist, I think. So yeah, his swamp making lands, they're not that good against me. I think I should be the favorite in this matchup. But his ability to remove my creatures makes him dangerous because I can't use my terrors. And we don't sideboard in these games because Morten forgot to bring his sideboard. And if I could sideboard, I would bring in Shatters and against his Sushis and probably Gloom. And he can't use Karma because he's black-white. So I'd like that option. Oh, this is nice. I attacked with the Jusum before I bought the Royal Assassin, and the reason for that is that he would likely sacrifice his Sushi as I wanted him to, because he thought he could then slice up my Jusum Jin with his Royal Assassin afterwards, and then start attacking with his factories. But surprise, I bolted the Assassin before that. So he plays a Singa Vampire, and I follow up with the 2nd Jusum Jin. And he sinkholes the land. I remember having a Singa Vampire in hand at this point and just cursing myself for not playing the Singa Vampire first, because then I could play the Jusum now, and it wouldn't. But now I'm stuck with a Singa Vampire in hand, and I can't play it until I have 1 more mana. So he removes one of the Jusums, and I'm forced to attack because I'm taking too much damage if I don't. And he just blocks with his factories as I anticipated, and I have to trade 1 for 1. Then I play a Hypnotic Spectre. It's not enough for blocking the Singa Vampire, but perhaps the mere threat of it would keep him at bay. But no, he doesn't care about it, even though it might threaten his hand if it gets in. So I'm attacking with it. Oh yeah, he didn't have a hand. That was probably a problem. And then I get a land, and now I can drop my Singa Vampire about 3 turns too late. And he just removes it like it's nothing. So yeah, that's the power of Deadguy Ale in this matchup. After sideboard, I think I'm the favorite because I have Glooms, and he can't use Karma, and he can't use Glooms, obviously. But pre-sideboard, it's probably pre. I actually think the only thing keeping me in this game is I have better creatures and I have blue power. If he had splashed for blue power as well, I'd probably lose more games than I'd win. For now, I think we're pretty evenly matched. But it's hard to tell. These Underworld Dreams, they don't work that well against it because he has no draw engine. But it's a good deck. He made it top 8 at the last tournament, and he told me before this game that he had tweaked the deck to make it even better. I went top 8 at the same tournament, but Morten and I didn't meet each other back then, so we haven't actually played before. I remember I was kicked out of the tournament in the semifinals by the deck, and I don't know how far Morten got, but the deck won. Anyway, that's 2-1 for the Deadguy Ale. Is now ahead 1 game. So yeah, this is perhaps more difficult than I anticipated, simply because that he, as said before, it's like a boxing match where 2 boxers just punching each other in the face, but he has the ability to duck and block, and I don't. I just have to hit harder and draw more cards. I mean, I guess that would be the same as punching more often. Yeah, just removes it. Turn 1 use them and just removes it. So I get 5 life, but I lose 2 cards in this, and I lose card advantage in that trade-off. So I follow up with an Hypnotic Spectre. Still very much on the offensive here, but at a card disadvantage. So he uses his Evil Presence on my Badlands in order to keep me out of red mana. And I attack, and this is pretty dangerous. I don't know how much it takes, but my experience is that if there's no draw 7, then Hypnotic Spectre have to get a successful attack maybe 2 or 3 times, and then it's usually game over just because of the card advantage it provides. Yeah, taking a sinkhole, that was his out for, oh no, yeah. That was his out against the factory, and now I have 2 Hypnotic Spectres. He gets down a Singia Vampire. This is actually a very good blocker because I can't suicide on him without making the Vampire even stronger and making it a threat against my Usumgens. So I had Demonic Tutor, and I think, no, it's hard to see at this angle. Somehow the camera recorded this in a weird way. I think I mind twisted him. Yeah, I did. I mind twisted for 1, and he lost a Singia Vampire. And then he mind twists me, and I lose a Terror and something else. And then he attacks me. I find that Morten plays very aggressively. He must be used to be the aggressor in his matches, because at this point I don't think he can trade with me like this. I mean, I'm ahead in life and I do 6 damage to him each time he taps. But if he doesn't tap, then I can't get in. So I sinkhole one of his lands and play a Chaos Orb. And I activate it on his Singia Vampire, but as a response he just disenchants it. So again, the power of white. It's such a strong color, white. So I can't remove his Singia Vampire now. Now he removes my factory with a sinkhole. My turn. Can't get in with my Hypnotic Spectres. So now I'm using the Demonic Tutor. And the safe play here would be to go for an Ancestral Recall. But I think I can't really remember, but perhaps I'd go for something else here. I think the correct play is going for the Disintegrate and just destroying the Singia Vampire in order to get in. That's not what I usually do, but yeah, I do that. Yeah, I do that. That's the correct play, I think, because now I get in for 4. I have down to 6 life, and he uses his hand, and he loses his hand. He had 2 cards left, so he plays that Bog Wraith again. It's a sweet card in this mirror match, but still I believe my Spectres outperforms it usually. Then a Vampire. I can't block him, but I can just keep on punching until he concedes. So that's 2-2 for this matchup. So round 5. And I think the last game of this recording, and I'll follow it up with the other games we played. So he's starting out strong with their land and a a scrub land and a pearl, and I start out more meekly with a factory that he immediately just strip mines. So, okay, another factory. Hoping not to be mana screwed here. It's so weird. I mean, I play with about 27 or 28 mana sources in my deck. And he Mind Twists again. That is pretty amazing. I mean, he's Mind Twisted me early in about 90 or 100% of these games so far. I draw another factory and now I can punch him for 3. And he gets his assassin out. That makes the attacks impossible. Luckily I have bolts. If I didn't splash red in this situation, well, the assassin would just crush me. So I'm glad I have that, but I use the orb on it. And I do it immediately because I don't want him to be able to untap and perhaps disenchant the orb when I activate it. So I can't attack. But it's fine. Got rid of the assassin. I wonder if he should play Icy Manipulator. That could be a pretty sweet, very, very old combo. He plays another sinkhole. I can imagine Morten must mana screw a lot of his opponents with 4 sinkholes and 4 Evil Presence, especially if they don't play black. But this time I get the mana, I get to use him. So that's lucky for me. And I just, starts punching away. And he blocks the factory with a disenchant, but takes the Jusam. So he has a lot of mana here. I wonder what he gets. A sushi. Well, that's not a knife. A Jusam is a knife. And attacks with the factory and I immediately bolted. That was a lame Crocodile Dundee reference, by the way, from the 90s. And we punch him again. Ritual into a Singa Vampire. I think this is going rather well. I think I have this in the bag, actually. He needs to draw about 2 Swords of Plowshares now, because just one of these creatures will end him. He can't block the Singa, and at the moment he can't block the Jusam Djinn without dying. Okay, true to form, he gets his removal spell. He kills the Singa Vampire. So I attack, he should block here, it's too risky not when I have a bolt. So I think I tutor, I do. I wonder what I'm getting here, I don't really know. Oh yeah, perhaps I do. A Time Walk could be a pretty nice card now. Just for an extra 5 damage. I don't know, I do Ancestral. I think that's wrong. I think I should have taken a Time Walk and just untapped, get another draw and hit him for 5. He'd be down at 2 life, then it's just a matter of time before I get something to kill him with. But yeah, he tries to disenchant my Rocks Ruby, obviously afraid of the burn spells. Why on earth did I Ancestral Recall there? That's mind-boggling to me. Sometimes I guess it's just the routine that takes over. Oh, I don't know. I remember that the Ancestral Recall actually only got me 2 Moxen and a land, but I suppose I don't have to draw them slowly then. Okay, so despite the mistake, that's a 3 for 2 for this round, and we have 2 more rounds to play. Yeah, they'll be up shortly. This is a very, very long matchup, 7 games, but we have other games as well. Thank you for watching.